And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Are you ticked off? I guess the name is, ticked off is good, and that's because you're ticking things off in this game, but it really has nothing to do with someone who's ticked off. What ticked off is, essentially, is kind of like a categories variant, all right? But don't just say, oh, I don't like categories. Take a look at this and see what you think, and we'll be back in just a minute. So here we have the board for the game, and it comes with some, so cute little pencils. A bunch of pawns, a timer, and a deck of cards. Now, what you do is, on each turn of the game, you're going to draw one of these items from this deck of cards. Here's a thing a cat eats, or food that is gross. Okay? And so, let's say you pick things that a cat eats. And then players are going to take turns. When it's your turn, you'll take one of your colored pawns and you will bid how many answers you think you can answer from that. So let's say pink bids that they can do 2, black bids 4, green bids higher than 6, yellow doesn't think he can do more than 6, so yellow passes. Pink also passes, black says he can do 7, green now passes, and so we're ready to go. Black says he can get 7 answers for things that a cat eats. Then you draw another card. Actors starring in television comedies, and put this down. This is after the bidding has done. This is the surprise category. At this point, everybody is given a piece of paper and a pencil, and the timer is started. Now, this timer, I suppose, is there to kind of keep the tension in the room going. It will tell you how long you have. What you're going to be doing is you're going to write down as many answers as you can for either category. You cannot do both, so you have to pick. And it's interesting because you're trying to pick the category, either you're trying to stop the person who bid from getting his answers, or you're trying to pick a category that no one else writes in, or you simply might be writing down answers in the category that you know. So everybody is frantically writing down answers as fast as they can, which means you're never going to bid very high anyway, because you only have so much time to write answers. So everyone writes down answers, and when the timer runs out, everyone has to stop writing answers. Okay, so now, everyone then takes their piece of paper, and the person who bid reads all his answers. Anyone else who has an answer that's the same as that person, they cross them out. So if you have a common answer, you cross it off with somebody else. This sheet here is things associated with pirates, and these are names that start with the letter T. So anyway, if no one else writes down your answer, great, that counts for you. But if someone else, it's crossed off, then the person counts how many they got right that no one else had, and if it meets or exceeds their number, they will get double that many points. So let's say black says he could do 7, and he does 8 things that a cat could eat. Well, he gets 14 points, marked with his other color pawn on the board, and then +1 for going over it by 1. Everybody else will then get 1 point for each correct answer they have that no one else has. So pink, yellow, and green will probably get fewer points. However, if black did not meet the number he said, let's say he only got 6, then he would simply get 0 points. So if you win the bid, you can get double points, but if you are incorrect, if you don't meet your bid, you get none. While if you don't win the bid and pass, you will get a point for each one you do. It's only 1 point, but you will get at least some points, hopefully. All right, we then pull the cards off and start another round, and we keep going until somebody gets to 50 points, in which case that person is the winner. All right, ticked off. It's a good party game, and there's some things that I really like about it. I like the double category and the bidding thing. Now, I'm not sure the bidding needs to go up to 20, because even if you know 20 items that you can write about a certain topic, and nobody else knows any of those 20 items, and everyone else picks the other one, so you have free claim to write all you want on your one topic, I don't think you have time to write those 20 items. You'd have to write incredibly fast. The most I think I ever wrote was 15, and I was writing as fast as I could. And then, of course, some of those are likely to be picked by other players. So, But I guess, you need to go high. But I mean, most bids are going to end up around 7 or 8. However, the bidding process is interesting. It reminds you of 25 words or less, the party game. But in this one, it's interesting because you never know what that other category is going to be. That other category can draw players away who were going to cancel out some of your things that you were going to write down. Or you can suddenly switch in a spot and say, wow, I can answer that one so much easier. But then you look at everybody else and you think, what category are they going to write? I might have written the one about movies, but there's John and Joe and Matt, and they all know their movies really well. So maybe I should stay away from the movie thing and go with the dog breeds, even though that's not something I'm an expert in. And so there's a little bit of that, and because of that, the game is a little bit better with more players. It goes up to, I think it goes up to 8 players here, up to 10 players. I've not played it with 10, but I played it with 6, and it was a lot better than when I played it with 5 and 4. And I could see how having more players would make it even better. So it is fun. Everybody who played it enjoyed it. Even people who didn't know the categories could hope that the next category was good. I do think the categories might be a little bit Americentric, just for those of you who live outside our country. And certainly sometimes they're very modern specific, but it's fun, and any card you don't like, of course, you can just toss. We got to the point where the person who won the previous bid, if they did not like the card that was drawn, could draw another card. Because there were occasionally cards we got and everybody was like, oh, no one wanted to do that category. So we just skipped it and went to the next one and had a lot of fun. It's a good, solid party game. Similar to categories in some ways, but because of the 2 categories and the timer, wow, what an annoying timer, huh? But it does add fun to the game. This is a game in its own right, and you should check it out.
Thanks for joining us today. For more written, audio, and video reviews, as well as the #1 board game podcast, check out the website at www.thedicetower.com. Until then, this is Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.